Welcome to part 3 of NumPy. So what we're going to be doing in this video is we're just going to go ahead and walk through some of the exercises listed below by typing in the correct commands using the NumPy tools that we've talked about in the previous two videos. So the one thing that I want to bring to your attention down below, I've actually added some code that will actually display and print out some information. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and remove those print statements for now, and we can look at those later when we get to the exercises. So what we want to do first is we want to create an array of 10 zeros stored in a variable named zeros and print zeros. So we can just go ahead, type in zeros. And then if you remember, there actually is a zeros method that will populate an array with 10 zeros. So we will go ahead and type that in. And then we can just go ahead and print zeros out. So if we go ahead and run, what we have is we have on our array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zeros in it. So next one, we want to create an array of 10 ones stored in a variable named ones and print ones. So again, what we need to do is, let me go ahead, ones equal, and it'll be MP, and then it will be, we need to call our ones method, again passing in 10, and then we will print 1. So if we go ahead and run this module, let me, what we have is now we have the next array with all ones. So next one, we want to create an array of 10 threes stored in a variable named threes and print threes. So there's one of two ways that you can do it. You can either go ahead and create an array of 10 zeros and add 3 to it, each one of the items. Or you can go ahead and create an array of 10 ones and then multiply them by 3. So let me just go ahead and print threes. And what we have now is we have our arrays of threes. Next item, we want to go ahead and create an array of the integers from 1 to 20 in a variable named 1 to 20 and print 1 to 20. So we're going to go ahead, create our variable 1 to 20, and we can go ahead and use our range, and our beginning spot is 1, and we want to go through 21, so we need to specify 21 as our ending value. And then we will go ahead and print out 1 to 20. We'll go ahead and actually run the module. And now we have the numbers 1 through 20 printed out. Okay, so the next one, we want to create a 3 by 3 matrix with values ranging from 0 to 8 in a variable named 3 by 3, and then print 3 by 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in one statement. You can go ahead and do it in 2 statements if you would like, but what I'm going to do is the first thing I will do is, since we want 0 through 8, I will go ahead and just use a range. So we're going to go ahead np.arrange, and it'll be from 0 through 9. And then we have our one-dimensional array, so what we can do is we can just go ahead and reshape that array and specify the dimensions of our reshaped array. So then I will just go ahead and print 3 by 3. And we will go ahead, run module, click on OK. So now if we scroll on down, we have our 3 by 3 with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go back into our Python. We want to create a 3 by 3 identity matrix or square matrix in a variable named identity. So we just call the I method, and then we just specify the size of the array. So what that'll create is our square or identity matrix where the diagonals are all ones and the rest of the values in the array are zeros. Ooh, let me see here. Oh, I need to specify NP before that. There we go. So we will go ahead and run the module, and if we scroll on down, oh, I need to print identity, so we'll go ahead, print my identity next. Now we will run it. Okay, let me see, I might get this one right sooner or later. And there we go. We will run the module. And we finally have our identity matrix printed out. So the next one, we want to create an array of 10 random integers between 1 and 40 in a variable named 10 random, and then print 10 random. So it'll be just 10 random, and then what that'll equal to is our NP, we'll call our random, and then our rand int, and we need to specify the beginning of our range 1, the ending of our range plus 1, which would be 40 plus 1 would be 41, and then the numbers in our range. And then we will go ahead and print out 10 random. So we will go ahead, run our module, click on OK, and then what we have is we have our random numbers printed out down below. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create an array of 10 linearly spaced points between 1 and 3 in a variable called spaced, and then we want to print spaced. So again, we'll set spaced, and then what we're going to use is the linspace method. The numbers are going to be between 1 and 3, and then we want 10 space points within that array. So we will go ahead and print out spaced, and we will go ahead and run. And let me see. Okay, so let me see here. What did I mistype? We'll go back in. Oh, and again, I forgot to call that on Numpy. So we'll go ahead. And now what we have is we have an array where everything is linearly spaced. Okay, so what we're going to do next is the next few questions are going to be answered based on the following array. So we want to use a slice to print the first 4 elements in our R array. So what we're going to have in our R array is a range of numbers starting at 5 running through 15. So we want to print out the first 4 elements, so we can just go ahead and use a slice operation to print those out. And what we're going to print out is starting at 0 up through the value of 4. Next one, we want to use a slice to print the last 3 elements in the array. So basically we have 10 elements in the array, so we want to start at index number 8. So we'll go ahead and print, and our slice will start at index 8, and it'll be through the end of our array, and then we want to use a slice to print the elements 4 through 7 in the array. So we'll go ahead and print array and 4 through 7. So we need to specify 8 as our ending point, because if we just specify 7, it will not go through. Element number 7. Oh, and then the elements 4, so I need to specify starting at position number 3. There we go. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3. That would be element 4. And then I spaced you out on this one. We need to go through, but not including index 7. So our elements would be found at index 3 through index 6. That'll give us elements 4 through 7. Sorry about the confusion there. So the next thing we want to do is we want to print the values that are greater than 10 in the R array using conditional selection. So what we're going to do here is we'll just have our print statement, and then using conditional selection, we'll just specify our array and then our comparison. We want to go ahead and display all values that are greater than 10 in the array and print them out. And then finally, we're going to print out the sign of each one of the values in our array. So we'll go ahead, call our sign function or method that will convert the values to sign in our array, passing in our R array. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and run it now, and we'll see what our operations look like. So what we have here is we have our initial array 5, 6, 7 through 15. The first question asks us to go ahead and print out the items starting at the first 4 elements. So it prints out 5, 6, 7, 8. We want to use a slice to go ahead and print out the last 3 elements. So it's 13, 14, and 15. Then we want to go ahead and use a slice to print out the elements 4 through 7. So if we count them over, 0, 1, or element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4. So it starts at 8, 9, 10, and 11. So that's what gets printed out there. And then we want to print out the items that are greater than 10. So basically what that prints out is everything 11 through 15. So if we go back in, so what we want to do next is we want to print the minimum maximum values in the 20 random array. So let me just go ahead and print our 20 random so we can actually see what the min and max are. Then we'll go ahead and print out 20 random and max, and then print out 20 random dot min. And then what the final thing we want to use a single bracket notation, get and print 55 from our basically our 2D2 array. So we want to print out 55. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and call print. First we'll print the array. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and run this. So what we have here, this array was the sign of the values in 5 through 15. The next array is our random array numbers. Looks like 91 is the largest. It looks like 10 is the smallest. And then now we have our array, our two-dimensional, so we want to print out the value of 55. So it's not in row 0, not in row 1. It's in row 3. and it is in column 1. So let's just go back into there and actually print that value out using single bracket notation. So row 3, column 1. If we go ahead and run, and we have 55. So again, this just walks you through some exercises where you can actually go ahead and use some of the Numpty tools that we talked about during the first 2 videos. So I will talk to you later.